Hey, welcome back to this mini lecture. My name is Dino. This is on citing cognition, shapes, and colors. If you're going to be using various shapes, you want to have ones that are main shapes that people easily understand, such as a empty circle, a cross, a rounded rectangle, a filled circle, a square, a rectangle, or a triangle. We often do not understand how we have various graphical codes that we just assume and they have certain meanings, certain semantics. For example, if you have a line between two shapes, we understand that they are related or connected due to this thin connector. If we have the connectors of various widths, they also denote something. More specifically, the thicker the connection, the more important it is, more strong the relationship. For example, the pink is thicker than the gray, so in the second example it's better. In the third example, the color and texture of connecting contour also denotes certain relationships. For example, a dotted green line is more intermittent than, say, the curved pink line, and you would say like the purple waved line, that is more like it's not as certain as a straighter line. When you have shapes that are enclosed by certain other shapes and contours and lines, that denotes that they're related. For example, the four pink balls within the blue are related, and then the three pink balls in the blue circle are also related. So if you nest different areas, that also helps to show that they're connected. For example, the green on the left of the fifth example, those things within it are related, and you also see the thing on the right, the shape on the right. And then finally, attached shapes mean again that they're related and they're part of the same structure. For example, you have the pink elongated shape with the three connected shapes or related to one another, and then the gray with the two elongated shapes are also connected. If you're going to be using visualizations and using colors, you almost can't help but use colors. These are the main types of colors to use: black, white, red, green, yellow, and blue. So try to use those ones. Those are the most easily discernible to the human eye. We have a tendency with our eyes to blend colors together. The square on the left is exactly the same thing as the square on the right in terms of the colors. However, the one on the right is divided by these white dividing lines to show how what on the left seems like a melding of different colors. They're actually very distinct due to the way our eyes blend colors. So you might want to use, again, distinguishing features like a grid in this sense to separate colors to make them more distinct. Also, contrast is so important. The yellow rectangle on the left is much more easy to see than the one on the right because the yellow is surrounded by blue on the left and the yellow is surrounded by like a orangish on the right. When we're creating text, we often have it on colors. As you see by the April in the bottom left, that is, the text is so big it takes preeminence over everything else. You'll see on the upper left box that the different in contrast between the black and red is a little bit minimal, so it's hard to read there. Same thing with the red on the green. The best choice for making text is on the lower right, where you have black on white. That is the easiest to see. You want to have like the color differences, the chroma differences being as high as possible when possible. On the shape to the left, there's a great deal of chroma difference between the orange ball and the blue balls. When there's a less of a color difference, such as the orange against the red in the middle example, it's harder to read. And then when there's so many different target colors, it becomes, on the far right example, really, really hard to distinguish between them because there's just too many. You don't want to have the colors of your preferred shapes to be the same as the background. Hence, the red is easiest to see out of all the ones on the far left. In the middle, the red also again differentiates itself, but it's a little bit harder to see because of the luminance difference, the light differences, because the background is so dark. And then the one on the far right is probably the easiest to see, which is the blue on the white. Look at these two shapes. If you're trying to show the relationships between things, as denoted by the connectors, the lines, which do you think is the easiest to read? 1, 2, 3. It would be the one on the left. And if you want to show relationships through lines, you want to have that dark. Have the essential information as on the left, the lines, the stars, the balls, be as dark as possible on a light background than the one on the right, which is the opposite, where the background's really dark. The dark background seems to hide the different relationships you want to show. Also, if you want to show things like a gradient and height, the chroma information, the color information on the left makes it harder to see. It's better to strip out the chroma as per the right, where it's easier to see the gradations of the heights. That was Citing Cognition, Shapes, and Colors. Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you again soon.